Hello and welcome to Programming. This is going to be the first episode in a new series, and the series is called The Making of PackMan. And in this episode I'll show you the setup, the graphics and the move. So PackMan, it's a clone PackMan game. So now let me show you what I'll be using. I'll be using Eclipse. So let me shrink that down a little bit. There. And that's the IDE I'm using. Next, we are going to start up a new project. Anyway, my workspace is in YouTube, Eclipse, in my home folder. So let me give that the name, PackMan. And in this project, in this game, we'll be using the GameEngine from video number 5. So let me go grab the GameEngine. To go grab the GameEngine, you will need to go to my channel, and you're gonna need that link right there. Open in a new tab and then go to downloads, select GameEngine Eclipse, click on that and then extract it. Should be fine. Now we're gonna need to extract this inside YouTube, Eclipse, and extract it here at the same level as PackMan. So close that, close that. The PackMan game, we're gonna need the graphics, so let's go to source, browse, graphics, images, and that is the image we'll be using. Let's see how it looks. It is the sprite of the PackMan. I'll call this PackMan. That is my best drawing anyway, so save it. Let's save that to PackMan and then create that inside a new folder called images. Save it. It should be okay now. We're not going to be using Firefox anymore, so we'll go back to Eclipse. Now if we refresh this, we should see a folder called images, and in that images we're gonna have the sprite called PacMan.png. Now since this game is going to need the GameEngine, we're gonna need to open the GameEngine project. So right click on that, say import, then go to existing project, go to general, open existing project into workspace, and browse to the project root directory, which is that one. Click on OK. Now that should be fine. We can click finish. Now there is something wrong with this, because there is no JRE system library for the project, because the configuration for the project is incorrect. So we're gonna need to reconfigure it by right click on the project, go to build path, and then say configure build path. Now in the library we're gonna need to delete that, it's missing, remove it, and then add we can say add jar, I'm sorry, add library, go to GLE system library, next, and then select the one that you know for sure that it exists. Mine is JDK version 7. Click on finish, and we should be okay. So that should be okay. Now we're not going to touch anything in the game engine. We'll be creating a new package for PacMan. So let's call it game.pacman. We are going to create a new class, and it will be called PacMan. It will be extending the game, control 1. Nope, it doesn't see the class game from the game engine because we haven't configured PacMan to use the project yet. So we'll go to build path again, and then configure build path, and then go to project, Java build path, and then project, add it. That should be the list of the open projects inside the workspace. One of that should be game engine. You can select that and click OK. That should give us we can control 1 and then hit enter, or control shift O. Now control 1 again to add the needed method for generate game. Now we're gonna need a main method, so let's go ahead, type in main and control space, enter. Now we're gonna run this game by application.start new PacMan. That would give us the default game. So if we run this, we should have a blank window. I think it's 400 by 400. With the title my game. So we're going to be changing all of the property there. So let's change it inside the constructor. Title should be changed to PacMan. Let's just leave the width and the height to be exactly 400. And what else? You're gonna need to draw something, so we're gonna have the image of PacMan. Control 1, and then when we initialize it, that should be, let's initialize it here, PacMan. We're gonna load up the PacMan, so we're gonna use image IO to read a new file. I'm still new to this, so it would take me a while to get used to new IDE. So let me try that again. Image IO, Control 1. Okay, that read. Control 1 to import, and then we're gonna read it from file instance. So we're gonna create a new file. Control 1 again to import. Now the file we're gonna keep the correct part of the PacMan.png. That should be fine, yes. But the only problem is we have to surround this by try and catch. I Control 1 and hit enter and select surrounded by try and catch. Now we have PacMan, so let's try drawing that onto the screen. We're gonna draw it by calling draw image. Give it the image variable name and then specify the position. Nope, this should be nothing. Now let's run this. Okay, the whole sheet is in there. We are going to need only one of that, so let's to get only one of that we should be say get sub image and then specify the upper left corner of the image we want to crop it and use it, the sub image. In this case it's going to be y is going to be, the width is 28 by 28. X is, let's start with 0. Let's see how that works. Now we get the upper left corner of the image. That should be the one. Now to animate it, we just have to make a new variable called frame, and the frame should be starting from 0. Every time we update, we're gonna increment the frame, and if the frame goes over 2, we're gonna reset the frame. Now given the frame, we should be moving from left to right, so that's how you can move 20, 30 I think. Now running this, it gives you an animation of that, but it's super quick. Anyway, the trick here is to reduce the number of frame. Let's just forget the speed for now. Well, let's worry about how we're gonna move the PacMan, because my objective here is to show you the setup, graphics, and the move. If I show you the move and I'm done for the video, so to move it, we're gonna need to keep track of the current position of the PacMan. Let's keep it X and Y. Now, why are we moving? We're gonna need to be able to keep track of the direction of the PackMan. So I need another variable called dir direction. If you don't like it, you can just call D. For me, dir is good enough. I am going to initialize it by giving it the name value called vk left. That signify I'm going to the left direction. Of course, you're going to need to initialize x and y. So x is, let's say, 300. Because we're going left, we're going to be to the rightmost as much as possible. Let's keep y 200. Okay. Now we're going to say depends on the direction of the PackMan. In the case that the direction is going left, here is what we are going to do. We are going to decrease x, the value of x, by 1. Let's see how we doing so far. It doesn't move because the position of the PackMan is not getting from the variable we want. We want it to be x and y from the PackMan. Those are the variables that keep track of the position of the PackMan. That should fix it. Sorry, I need to do this, and let me run that again. So it's going from in the left direction, and the speed is not so fast. So we're gonna fix it by changing the decrement number. Let's change that to 2. Anyway, we're gonna play around with the number right there in order to get the right behavior, the movement behavior of PackMan. So let's say that's about right, but if you want to try something else, it would be easier for us to change that to a name. Let's so that we can remember to change the value in one place. Let's keep it constant. We don't need static anyway, so stat is 2. Now let's see that again. That should be good, but then it doesn't stop when it hit the wall, so we are going to restrict that by saying if x is less than 0, that means it tried to go out up bound, we are going to reset x to 0. So we'll stop it at 0. Run it again. It just stop at the edge of the window. Now we stop it there. Of course, if the direction is start off with going to right direction, we are going to have to stop x at some point. That should be width is the width of the window of the game canvas. We're gonna decrease it by the size of the PacMan, which is 28, and that. Then x should be that exactly. Now let's change the direction to right. That should stop it. Right there. Now why don't we just let the control, give it a little control, so the user can use the arrow key to control it, to give it the direction at where the PacMan is going. We can easily do that by override this method key press. That's how you get the direction from the key even. Now you can hit left and right, and left and right, and left and right. Now the image doesn't corresponding to the correct facing direction of the sprite. So here's how we can fix it. As you can see, the if we leave y at the top, 0 right there, it will always get the pictures from the top of the sprite sheet. So if we want other direction, we have to go 28 pixel down. Depends on the direction. So anyway, let me tell you this. That's up, and one more to make it down. Now the number right there is 37. It's a number, so up it's 38, right it's 39, and down it's 40, if I'm not mistaken. So when we want to go up, we would just change the y coordinate of the PacMan by step, and down would have to add it by step. So to get the correct sprite, the image for sub-image for PacMan, we would have to get direction subtracted by 37, which would give left 0, up 1, and then we times it by 30. Right, left, right, left. Okay, that's good enough. Now, up and down is not implemented yet. It is implemented in, but the image wouldn't change. It changed. Now we're okay. But there's still one more problem. That is, it doesn't block PacMan from going through the top and through the floor. We can limit it by the movement area. That's for X, and this is going to be for up and down direction. So that would be height, and that should be it. Now when stopping up and down and up, anyway, you can always use for smoother animation, you can always fix this by let it goes up to 6, and then before we increment it, we divide it by 2. Something's wrong with the division. Okay, it goes over 2, so it should not be over . It should not be over 5. It should not be 7. So that's how I think I can fix it. Anyway, it depends on your machine. So if you think that looks realistic enough, just use it. Anyway, this is for episode 1 in the series, the making of PacMan, and I just show you the setup, the graphics, and the move. Now let me show you that again. It doesn't restrict the movement of the PacMan. So in the next episode, I'm gonna show you how to restrict movement for PacMan and making the maze if I have enough time. So see you in the second episode. Anyway, don't forget to vote if you want to see it before another series, if you prefer this one to the other series. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.